dollars. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Football and for Life here. I'm providing you with my own custom-made guide on how to beat some of the toughest bosses duo in the game, the Misbegotten Warrior and the Crucible Knight. These are the items you'll need: the 2 Fingers Heirloom, you'll need the Lightning Spear, you'll need the Rhea Lucaria Ashes, you'll need the Lion's Claw Ash of War to add on to the Great Sword, which is listed at number 5. Last but not least, you'll need some smithing stones to upgrade your great sword to about level 8 or 9. So on number 1, first 2 Fingers Heirloom, that you're going to find that at Liurnia of the Lakes. This is a site of grace that is usually by the Rhea Lucaria warriors fighting the Shadow Warriors on the bridge, and then there's a Shadow Giant nearby too. So just kind of travel over here to Liurnia of the Lakes, and then you'll see this familiar area. These are the giants I was speaking of earlier. So these are the Rhea Lucaria, and they're like having that little battle over there. If you've come across this, you'll know exactly where it is. If not, just go to Google, look up this location, and you should be able to obtain it, kind of like finding it on a map. And then from this location, this is the route you take. You go in through here, there'll be some warriors laying down here. You open up this hidden passage right here, you go down here. You'll find a chest right here. There won't be anything guarding it, so don't worry about that. Open up this chest and you'll obtain the 2 Fingers Heirloom. And then the next item you'll want to get is the Lightning Spear. This is actually one of the most valuable weapons in the game. It's one of my favorites. I've utilized it in many different battles. You can effectively outrange them and create a lot of damage. It pairs well with another item on this list, which is the one that we just gathered, the 2 Fingers Heirloom. It raises your faith, so you're able to utilize the Lightning Spear without having to upgrade your levels. So it comes in a jiffy. If you don't want to spend all that time leveling up, just grab that heirloom we just collected. Now to get the Lightning Spear, you're going to want to travel to the Liurnia Artist Shack. Right outside of the shack, I believe it's to the south, you'll see this knight. It's a single knight on foot, and once you defeat him, he'll drop the dragon book. And you take this book over to the Church of Vows and you exchange it with the turtle there. We'll go over that in just a few, but here's me showing the example of what the Lightning Spear will look like after you defeat this knight over here in the open, just south of the Artist Shack in Liurnia. And then next we're going to travel to the Church of Vows, just a little bit north of here. If you don't know where it is, remember you can always Google these locations if necessary. And then we're going to go in here, we're going to talk to the turtle and exchange it with him. And then it'll bring up a prompt, and you can basically give him books, and then he'll give you spells for giving him the books. Now the next item you're going to want to obtain in your quest to win this war against these brutal duo, the Ashes of War, the Lion's Claw. So this is in Fort Gale North in Caelid province. I'll show you where the site of grace is. If you find Fort Gale North, it's just a little bit over here in Caelid. So you're going to want to get here, travel here, use your horse of course, and jump over these barriers. Don't even worry about fighting unless you're trying to level up. It's kind of just a waste of time. Stroll by him. You'll see this dude on the cliffside shoot up arrows. Those ones are kind of homing, so just be careful of those because they might throw you off balance, or they might stagger you during your fight up here around the corner, and you don't want to make a mistake and die. But you'll see here, once you get here, there'll be a lion within there, and you're going to have to defeat that lion. That's another whole battle I'll detail in my other guide that I'm going to release. But you're going to want to go up here, defeat this guy real quick, climb up the stairs, and then you're going to want to drop into the pit and defeat this lion in order to obtain the Ashes of War, the Lion's Claw. It's a really strong ability, and it's one of the strongest Ashes of War that I've seen in the game. So I highly recommend getting this before going into your final battle against these two in order to obtain it. And I'm demonstrating the ability right here and how it pairs with the greatsword. And then the Rhea Lucaria ashes and smithing stones, you'll need a lot of smithing stones, levels 1 through 4. Once again, this kind of takes a lot of time to show you where all those locations are for the smithing stones. So I recommend looking up another YouTube guide and just looking into where they may be, so you have the proper amount when you're upgrading your greatsword in just a few moments here. And the Rhea Lucaria ashes, they're definitely some of the best summoning, so I definitely recommend going and looking up a guide on how to obtain the Rhea Lucaria ashes too. It's in one of the dungeons around the map, and you just have to simply Google it and you can find out where it is. Now, you can find a greatsword by killing a knight in Redmane Castle en route to the main fight that we're about to go over the strategy, which is what this guide is all about. Once you kill that knight, when you're making your way towards the main boss, he'll drop a greatsword, and it's one of the best greatswords in the game. It's an S tier. Once you obtain this greatsword, you're going to want to go to the Roundknights Table and talk to the blacksmith that is known to reside and live in this area. You're going to want to upgrade it to level 7 and 9, so make sure that you obtain those smithing stones and you have them all ready to go when you come up here and you talk to this guy. And then after you upgrade your greatsword, you're going to want to make sure it's an S tier greatsword. If you have another one available, you may not want to use it because those smithing stones are rare. So just make sure it's an S tier before you go forward. And then once you're done upgrading it, add on the Ashes of War Lion's Claw. It looks like it's a standard build. I didn't really put any other builds on it. I just went with standard quality. And then after that, you're pretty much ready to go. Just make sure that you have your 2 fingers heirloom equipped and your level is decent. If it's not quite good, you may lose a lot, so just make sure you're at least like level 40 before going into this battle. I would recommend. And if you're still struggling, level up a little bit more. And here's my levels right now as of today, and this is kind of the build I have going. So now you're ready for the hardest fight in the game. This is going to be very tough mentally. I suggest just becoming very, very strong mentally, not really raging. Raging won't do anything. Don't tilt, don't go on to mad streaks. Just kind of try to learn your best and move into it again. You probably won't win and you're gonna probably lose a lot, but you're gonna want to overwhelm this lion in the beginning. As you can see, I open up the battle by summoning the warriors for me. They take front position and I let them go out into the battle so they attract the attention of the Misbegotten warrior. And then I start hitting him with the Ashes of War, the Lion's Claw. Once he gets close, that thing is pretty much a critical hit after 2 or 3. Pretty sure after 2 or 3 he'll go down and you can do another crit hit, which puts him at about half level. And you're going to want to defeat the main Misbegotten warrior in about 30 to 45 seconds. Any longer, you'll be overwhelmed by dual attacks by the Crucible Knight and the Misbegotten warrior. So you're going to want to kind of learn how to zone and keep the Misbegotten warrior at like the first quarter of the map. That way the Crucible Knight doesn't become active and start harassing you and chasing you and attacking you. And as you can see right here, this is about like 2 minutes, a minute into the fight, and I still have my Rhea Lucaria ashes going. They're still being a menace to this guy. Whereas when I was first learning, they would immediately be eliminated, and it would just be me versus this Crucible Knight kind of running around. So let's talk battle strategy now. Optimal battle strategy. You're going to want to eliminate the Misbegotten warrior in about 30 to 45 seconds. Overwhelm him with the Lion's Claw. Let your Rhea Lucaria warriors take front place and center. Let them absorb as much damage as possible before they're eliminated. And if all goes well, it'll turn out similar to this match where they'll still be alive, fighting the Crucible warrior, distracting him, allowing you to get in 1 to 3 more hits before they ultimately get disintegrated. And then let's talk battle strategy for the Crucible Knight. Now, you're rarely ever going to want to block any of his attacks. The only attacks that you're going to want to block are the ones that you just saw. When he whips his tail, Dragon Whip's tail is something you need to tell yourself. Once that Crucible Knight starts flying up in the air like this, you roll. Once you see he's in this second stage, then you're going to only want to block his Dragon Whip's tail. Keep reminding yourself, Dragon Whip's tail, because if you don't, you'll be caught off guard when it looks like there's a free hit, but he'll whip his tail after you get that free hit. So after you get the hit, remember you got to block like right away. Another thing you're going to want to do is utilize these tables that are throughout the arena to your advantage. You're going to want to lure him close, play a little chicken dance with him at the outside edges of the table, and then once he throws his attack, just make sure you're slightly out of range and then come back into range with the Lion's Claw like I just did. And then remember, just roll and jump. Don't even try to block. You'll just see here throughout the fight, I'm just rolling, dodging attacks. This will greatly enhance your rolling ability if you haven't already developed it, and it's like one of the greatest trainers in the game. Even if you lose a lot, you're still gaining a lot of experience. So don't get too mad mentally. Just be like, hey, I'm learning, I'm getting better, nothing to worry about here, I'm good to go. I'm gonna just take this mental pain, I'm gonna learn from it, I'm gonna get something out of it. It's not gonna be rage, I'm not gonna give up, I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna keep learning my lesson. I'm gonna keep running through the scenario in my brain. Oh, what could I have done better this game? What could I have done better here? But this is the ultimate strategy. Use those tables as much as you can to get crit hits with the Lion's Claw. Once you bring him in close, you move slightly out of range so he doesn't hit you through the table, and then you do the Lion's Claw attack. It'll slightly stagger him with the Greatsword and the Lion's Claw. That's why you had to gather all those previous items. And then once you get towards the end and all the tables are gone, you're going to start utilizing the Lightning Spear. And if all goes well, you can reference this guide, you can reference this battle tactics, you can reference everything I just did and everything I just said, so you can build on your own learning, and then you'll obtain victory for the Tarnished. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, and leave some commentary for anything that you may be struggling, any sort of questions you have. Just make sure that you guys ask each other, or you can ask me for help too. Thank you so much for all the support, and I hope you enjoyed this guide. There will be more released in the future. Have a great time, and good luck on defeating these 2 warriors. They're very tough to beat, but it's extremely rewarding once you do.